Joining me now to discuss a new partnership in education are Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Jack Dale, and George Mason University's Dean of Education and Human Development, Mark Ginsberg. Welcome to you both.
Thanks very much.
We have an exciting project that I'm starting to learn about, and so Dr. Dale, tell us a little bit about what is going on.
Well, right now it's in the very infancy stages, so we're all learning about this one because what we're trying to create is a different kind of an educational experience for kids. We're going to start at the middle school, that much we know. But the focus will be around how can we deliver our content in an integrated fashion so it's not just these discrete silos, but we can integrate it. We can also look across grade levels and not be worried so much about 7th grade SOLs or 8th, but worry about learning. Have kids work in projects and work on teams. Much more self-directed, where kids become much more responsible for their own learning, learn how to monitor their learning, high use of technology, because that's the world of information now, as well as how kids can collaborate using technology. All of that is a new way to approach education instead of kind of the traditional classroom. And I also want to look at, from our perspective, can we deliver this in a manner that may be even more cost-effective than we currently are? So just as effective on a program side, more so, but even maybe less cost.
And Dr. Ginsberg, GMU is involved in this very unique partnership. Tell us about that.
Well, it's a very important partnership and a very exciting partnership. And for many years, the College of Education and Human Development and George Mason University have had many vibrant and important partnerships with the school division. This college laboratory school allows us to deepen and broaden that partnership and to create a learning laboratory that's a laboratory for our students to become more proficient as teachers as they join the school division on the instructional faculty, a learning laboratory for students in the school to be more successful in their learning, and a way that we can create new ways and hopefully more successful ways that our students can learn and our teachers can teach.
So it really raises the bar for both students and teachers at the same time.
It also provides a setting where we can understand it very deeply. So it's a setting where we conduct research on applied ways in which we can further enhance student learning and do some things maybe very differently and creatively that you're unable to do in a school that is different from a laboratory.
So one of the things we're trying to address, just to kind of get at from a kid's perspective, when you watch kids, they love coming to school at the elementary level, kindergarten, and then as they get older and older, and, well, you have children.
Teenagers.
Yeah, teenagers, and I'm bored.
Right.
You know,
right.
But what they get excited about is very different than some of the traditional kind of instruction.
Right.
What we're trying to do is then create this different kind of an environment where we don't lose that kind of excitement. It's continually engaging, continually excitement, but learning nevertheless. And doing so in a kind of a different environment.
Yeah, I think that's important. And then one of our other goals is to be able to try some things out in a very innovative environment that a laboratory school actually is by definition. But then think about how we can bring to scale some of the things that we find both exciting and successful. So it's not just about learning new things, it's about learning new things that work and bringing those new things more generally into the educational spectrum.
Excellent. Now, lab schools are somewhat a new concept in Virginia, correct? But they have been around the country for a while. Is that right?
Well, it's interesting. We have been meeting with a steering committee trying to pull this together and trying to answer that question. Are there some models across the country? And so far we found some things called lab schools where you do in fact have these partnerships between universities and school systems, but there seems to be a bit of a tendency to be studying the traditional kind of education. Great partnerships, because you still have to work on those linkages, and Mark's trying to train teachers to become teachers as well as principals to be principals, and then we're trying to have kids learn. So you still need that space for a partnership, but what we haven't necessarily found yet, but we're still looking and visiting, is those innovation spaces where education looks really very different, as many people are calling on us to do.
Which really taps into our 21st Century Learning Skills initiative.
Yeah, it does. The other thing I think is very unique about this partnership, although there are lab schools that exist around the country, and historically, by the way, there were lab schools in Virginia, there just haven't been for many years, and there's new authorizing legislation that permits programs like this to be reinvented, if you will. But there are very few programs, if any, that have this kind of seamless partnership between a public school division and a large state-supported research-intensive university. And so this partnership, I think, is both vibrant, it's unique, and I think it's going to be really opportunistic for our students and Fairfax County Public School students.
So this will be a school within a school?
Yeah, we're in the design phases. Right now, the major focus is around our instructional folks trying to look at how to integrate team build, kids responsible for their own learning, individual learning plans, and yet team concepts. So all of those things, and then that will then drive how we staff the building. But then physically, what we're wrestling with right now is that let's just focus on the core academic areas, math, language, arts, science, and social studies. And so to accommodate the electives that we know kids will want to do in art and PE and music and that sort of thing, then let's house it at least temporarily for the first few years in a current site that offers a middle school program for those elective purposes. So it'll be kind of housed within an existing middle school, yet to be determined. We're trying to work on all of that, but open to lots of kids in the county. That would be the expectation. But we've got a lot of things to work out before we try and advertise this to parents.
Right. So where are we in the process?
We think we're in the process of trying to get some approval on this and concept design done early fall, where we can then become much more public with it, have parents and kids and teachers say, yes, this is exciting, we want to be part of this, school board approval, Board of Trustees approval, and all the necessary approval processes so that we can potentially launch this in the fall of 2013.
You know, I might say, too, from the university perspective, there's tremendous excitement about the opportunities that this partnership provides, and the partnership has provided for many years. And so we look forward to working very closely with Dr. Dale and his team, and I think the team at Fairfax County Public Schools working very closely with our team, and creating this seamless dynamic where we are literally one unit working together to try to do what's in the best interest of tomorrow's teachers and today's students, as well as planning programs that are going to be in the best interest of tomorrow's students.
Excellent. Well, we will keep our eye on that and continue to cover it in the future. Thank you both.
Well, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for having us.